Hello, everybody. Welcome to a little bit of a simple D&D DMing behind the screen. I'm just gonna do some simple stuff for you. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing as a DM for anyone that is kind of new to it. So let's just get started. So to start off, we have a little bit of an intro. I used one of the intros from the Curse of Strahd book itself. It's the very simple one where there are, some mysterious visitors, and Duchess Morwen, the Duchess of Daggerford, kind of needs some help disposing them, slash asking politely for them to stop bothering her village and to move on. So we set the kind of tone, saying that it's a little quiet in manner, and everyone's a little bit on edge, asking for to just move out. The group of random people are the Steam, and I said that they spoke of Mist and some monsters, and there's a whole bunch of random stuff, and just to ask them politely to move on. Up next, they went and visited, and I kind of said that they would simply move on as long as they stayed a little bit, partied with them, and heard the tale of their area. They're on edge about Stanmere, which is the main village elder. A little bit on edge, but Stanmere was kind of like, I'm not doing anything wrong, please, just listen. I promise you that we'll move on, just as long as you stay and listen to my tale. So they did. They partied, they had a good time, and then they turned around and wanted to go back to Duchess Morwen, but I didn't really want to give them any gold too early for just simply talking, so I had the Mist of Barovia kind of entrap them, and they turned around and they saw the entire Death House, which is this guy here. It's a one-shot that you guys can run yourself. I think it's free. I'm not exactly too sure, but I know it's a part of the Curse of Strahd campaign. So what they did is they went through floor 1. It looked pretty new and standard, but it was eerily quiet. And then they go to floor 2, it looks a little bit aged. And then floor 3, it looks even more aged. And then the attic, it just looks like it's never been lived in. And they found out that there's something that happened in this children's room, which is very unfortunate, which made them go investigate the basement, where they found out it was a big ritual kind of house, and they absolutely destroyed the Shambling lamp that was just sitting there. Which leads me into session 2, where I kind of had them go through a little bit of a custom little quest line. I set the tone of the session all right here. I recommend that you guys kind of open up and set the tone for the party almost every session, or give a little bit of a recap. I have them have the sense that they're being watched from Strahd, because he's got spies and everything everywhere. And then I kind of point them in the way to the Bloodvine Tavern. So continuing on from here, I had them meet a person, a bard person called Emil. I use him as kind of a plot point to try and introduce Strahd as this big confident character, and if you piss him off a little too much, he just smokes them. So that happens later. I kill off Emil, and a little further down. So If they question Emil about Barovia, say that they can't really leave because the roads don't really work as they seem. Castle Ravenloft never sleeps. He's kind of camped underneath there a few times. The Vicini maybe can leave, hinting at that might be a way out, but you never know. A person named Tatiana is kind of a person in Vlaki, so kind of hint them towards Vlaki that maybe they should go there, and since he may know something, and that he's been kind of bitten by Strahad. And so that brings us to the morning, where I use Emil as a little quest kind of giver, and if they allow him to join the party, he'll help them as much as possible. And since I had to introduce someone this session, since we were down a member last time, I'm going to introduce a little bit of a traveling merchant that had the druid, since he was kind of cursed and he's an owl. So yeah, they broke free the merchant. Broke him free from the merchant, sorry. And then they went to do a little bit of a custom quest that I did that kind of marks the priest, Father Donovich, as kind of a kidnapper, because he wanted to help save his son, Baruch, was a adventurer at one point that went up to Castle Ravenloft and then was transformed into a villager. But before that, they went through and they were investigating a house where kidnapping was happening. They found some scuffed blueprints and also some blood on a toy. They also found that there was a bit of white hair in some places, and if they found rolled higher than a 15 or at a 15, they found this simple little sigil of I think it's the moon goddess or something like that. And then with Emil, I kind of had them gave them a few choices where they could go to the Burgomaster Mansion by themselves to go see the Burgomaster, which is actually dead. Or they would go to the tavern again to pick up Ismark and meet Ismark there, which would bring them to the Burgomaster Mansion, and it would give them like advantage on talking to Irene and getting a little bit of information from her. Or they could go to Mad Mary's, or they could go straight to the church. It was all up to them. But this is where I introduced Strahad, and Strahad was kind of talking and asking for the leader to choose the party to choose the weakest member. They didn't give up the weakest member, so I killed off Emil and had them all roll performance checks or constitution or something like that, and the lowest one would get an injury. The one that they got was fragile, but I didn't have it last too long, and so since there's medical supplies in the little gift basket that Strahad gave them as a welcoming gift to Barovia. But yeah, they spoke to Irina, which asked them for a little bit of help, and to also get to Vlaki, and also to help bury her father, the Burgomaster. Which is the church, where they confronted Father Donovich, and then they broke him, and then he confessed to all the crimes of kidnapping, in which Strahad there appeared. Like, my, such beautiful devotion, Father, and such a righteous, kind of indignation from our little brave little guests here in Barovia. I see, priest, you forgot to mention that the letters that you sent, begging you to turn Baru into a true vampire. Not very holy of you, is it? So, just as a little eerie, smile goes to Strahad, and he says that Irina is always been hers, since Irina is the reincarnation of his beloved wife in his past life as a human, and now she's reincarnated. And so I just give them a simple, if you interfere with me again, if you don't give me Irina, I'll deal with you. It's a simple way. And then I mentioned that Daru is in the basement, and that they should deal with him before he wreaks havoc on the village. And so they kind of tied up the priest and brought him down to Daru, and then they killed Daru in front of the priest's face, and then they also killed the priest, which was not very nice of them, but they did it. Which leads to session 3 from the top of from the top of the village where the church is. Apologies for that. Welcome back. I'm gonna pause the recording on OBS. I love that pause function. But anyways, session 3, they buried the priest and his son, and then it hit midnight, which is when the March of the Dead happens in the village, and they saw that march all the way up to the castle. But they also spotted a old woman delivering pies on some doors and stuff like that. She was just knocking, and most of them didn't open their door to her. And also they saw the Vestini arrive into the town square, and which allowed me to say the barbarian is now arrived, and they spoke with the Vestini, but before that even happened, they confronted the old woman, which is a night hag. Little fun fact there. And so they met with Stanmir again, and had him say, you guys can do whatever you want. We're going to be camping here at the Beloved and Vine Tavern for a while, so if you have any unfinished business, you can go ahead and deal with it, but we're going to be here, and I would like to take you to Madame Eva. And so that allowed them to go to the merchants, and they stole a whole bunch of stuff. They bought a whole bunch of things, and it was a good time. In which then I later took them to Sears Falls, which is the encampment of where Madame Eva is, and that was kind of session 3. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this little series that I'm doing. I recommend you guys set up a Discord if you're doing anything online. So have them have the ability to post notes. Have a little general for them to discuss anything. Post any important things that they might need, like the Owlbear Rodeo link, so then they can access the board. Irina is a little description that I gave, and I gave them a visual. I showed them a piece of a map that they found, and then I also showed them a bigger piece of the map with a bit more detail for them to follow along. Simple merchant stuff for them. Things like this just all helps quality of life. If you're a DM like me, I suggest having a whole bunch of stuff like this, just at your ready, so then you can always be like, oh, here's this, but this is my way of DMing. Everyone has their own personal way. I like having a couple notes and things like this. It may not be the most notes that you will ever see, but it is quite a lot, and for the amount of work that I put into it. So yeah, thank you for watching. This has been DMing session 4, where I'll go through my notes maybe a little bit more in depth, because a little bit behind and stuff like that. So, peace out. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.